Okay, so I just finished all the bearing installations, and that was rather intense, and this is going to be a quick amendment to that video, just to show, or to that video showing you that it's done here. That was intense and not necessarily very fun to do. However, I prevailed. I took the rear cover off, and I don't have screws in the front housing right now, but you can see I've got the crankshaft in here. So the next video I'm going to shoot here, when I shut this one off and I'll start a new one, is I'm going to show you how to do the timing, because this engine isn't timed right now. This camshaft I put in there is just a filler piece right now to keep things a little straight. So basically, that was pretty intense, as I said. Started out showing the bearing installation here, and I don't remember exactly where I kept shutting it off, because sometimes it looked like it was going to just go really long, and I was getting kind of stressed, and I didn't have this thing heated up fully, and I'd start to get a bearing kind of cocked, and I'd have to take the bearing out. So it was kind of one of those back and forth things. It wasn't super smooth, but I finally got the bearings installed in this front housing. And then I went and off camera, I think I might have done some of this on camera, this camshaft bearing here. Again, I was just heating this little area up, and that was not good enough, because I think the only part of that I got on video, and I'm not even sure if I'm going to show it, is me heating that part up, putting the bearing in, that immediately cocked and didn't want to straighten out. So I was like, oh shit. So I pulled it out and said, well, it's just not hot enough. So I pulled it out, heated up at least upper half of this crankcase. Then I went to put that bearing in there, and I went to put it in, and it just dropped right in. I was like, oh, okay. So it was just a matter of this thing just not being hot enough, because I didn't even have to I don't even think I pushed on the bearing. I think I may have hit it with the awl on the press, and then it just fell right into place. I was like, okay. So then I just dropped that bronze or copper, or probably not copper, bronze sleeve in place. So the installation of the crankshaft in there was a little bit, wasn't as fun as my last one, because I didn't have a nice wood vise. I just had this thing very lightly held in place on a little metal vise, and it was kind of tipping and doing that kind of thing a couple of times. But what concerned me, or had me a little bit worried at first, was I heated this case up really hot, and I thought I could just drop this thing right on there like I did the first time, and it just didn't work out that way. First and second time with the 320 Pegasus, it went on there and it just kind of stopped. So I had to tap it down with the mallet, and then as soon as I got to a certain point, boom, then it just all dropped into place. So that was a little tense, but everything is ready to go now. I just need to, off camera, I'm just going to throw the screws in here, put the rear cover on. I also have the new bearing in the rear cover replaced. This is the one that came out of it. You're not going to be able to tell the difference, because honestly, now that I feel this one, I don't even think it feels that bad. So I'm going to keep it. I don't ever really throw bearings away anyway, just because I keep them in a bag for sizes and say this was for this engine or whatever. So I'll keep all these bearings anyway, just in case I happen to do another one of these, and I'll have references. But you know, this bearing, I thought it didn't feel all that great, but honestly it feels fine. But well, either way, there's a brand new one in there. So the bearing installation is done, and you'll see in step 12 some other fun stuff.